Welcome. Today we cover, cells are the living units of the body. We will learn it diagram by diagram, in Guyton's own words, and then test it with questions. Let's begin. The basic living unit of the body is the cell. Look at a single cell. In the center is the nucleus, the control center that stores the DNA. Around it, the mitochondria are the powerhouses that make energy. The cell membrane forms the outer boundary. This tiny unit is fully alive. Each tissue or organ is an aggregate of many different cells held together by intercellular supporting structures. Cells join together to form a tissue. Tissues form an organ, like the stomach. Organs form an organ system, and all the systems together build the whole body. Small to big. The entire body contains about 35 to 40 trillion human cells. Zoom in anywhere in the body, and you find cells everywhere. In total, about 35 to 40 trillion of them. A number almost impossible to imagine. Each type of cell is specially adapted to perform one or a few particular functions. Different cells do different jobs. Neurons carry signals. Muscle cells contract. Hepatocytes handle metabolism. And red blood cells carry oxygen. The shape of each cell fits its function. The general chemical mechanisms for changing nutrients into energy are basically the same in all cells. Every cell makes energy the same way. Oxygen, plus nutrients like glucose, enter the mitochondria, and produce energy called ATP. The red blood cells, numbering about 25 trillion in each person, are the most abundant of any single type of cell in the body. On the scale, red blood cells outweigh everything else. About 25 trillion of them. By far, the most abundant cell type in the body. The red blood cells transport oxygen, the white blood cells help fight infection, and the platelets help the blood to clot. Inside a blood vessel, the red blood cells carry oxygen. A white blood cell defends against infection. And a platelet helps the blood to clot. The red blood cells transport oxygen from the lungs to the tissues. In the lungs, the red blood cell picks up oxygen. It travels through the blood, and drops the oxygen off at the tissues, then returns to the lungs for more. The red blood cells carry oxygen using a protein called hemoglobin. Inside the red blood cell is hemoglobin. This is the molecule that actually grabs oxygen in the lungs, and releases it in the tissues. Almost all cells have the ability to reproduce additional cells of their own type. When cells are destroyed, others divide to replace them. One cell splits into two identical cells. This is how the body renews itself. The gastrointestinal tract normally contains a complex population of 400 to 1,000 species of microorganisms that outnumber our human cells. Your gut is home to 400 to 1,000 species of microbes. Together, this microbiota actually outnumbers your own human cells. These communities, often called microbiota, provide vital functions that are essential for survival of their hosts. The microbiota is not just along for the ride. It helps digest your food, it supports nutrition by making vitamins, and it strengthens immunity against harmful germs. Now, let's test what you've learned, with some questions. Question 1. What is the basic living unit of the body? Option A. The tissue. Option B. The organ. Option C. The cell. Option D. The organ system. Option C, the cell. That's correct. Now, let's break down each option. Option A, the tissue. This one is wrong, because a tissue is a group of cells, not the smallest unit. Option B, the organ. This one is wrong, because an organ is made of many tissues. Option D, the organ system. This one is wrong, because a group of organs, the largest level. And option C, the cell. This is the correct answer. The smallest unit that is truly alive. Let's move on to the next question. Question 2. Approximately how many human cells does the entire body contain? Option A, 1 to 2 trillion. Option B, 10 to 15 trillion. Option C, 35 to 40 trillion. Option D, 100 to 120 trillion. Option C, 35 to 40 trillion. That's correct. Now, let's break down each option. Option A, 1 to 2 trillion. This one is wrong, because far too few. Option B, 10 to 15 trillion. This one is wrong, because still too few. Option D, 100 to 120 trillion. This one is wrong, because an overestimate. And option C, 35 to 40 trillion. This is the correct answer. The accepted total cell count. Let's move on to the next question. Question 3. Which single cell type is the most abundant, about 25 trillion? Option A, neurons. Option B, red blood cells. Option C, hepatocytes. Option D, skeletal muscle cells. Option B, red blood cells. That's correct. Now, let's break down each option. Option A, neurons. This one is wrong, because nerve cells are far fewer. Option C, hepatocytes. This one is wrong, because liver cells, fewer in number. Option D, skeletal muscle cells. This one is wrong, because large cells but fewer. And option B, red blood cells. This is the correct answer. About 25 trillion, the most numerous. Let's move on to the next question. Question 4. What is the main function of red blood cells? Option A, fight infection. Option B, transport oxygen. Option C, clot the blood. Option D, produce antibodies. Option B, transport oxygen. That's correct. Now, let's break down each option. Option A, fight infection. This one is wrong, because that is the white blood cell's job. Option C, clot the blood. This one is wrong, because clotting is done by platelets. Option D, produce antibodies. This one is wrong, because antibodies come from the immune system. And option B, transport oxygen. This is the correct answer. Carried by hemoglobin, lungs to tissues. Let's move on to the next question. Question 5. The community of microorganisms living in the body is called the Option A, microbiota. Option B, cytoskeleton. Option C, interstitium. Option D, parenchyma. Option A, microbiota. That's correct. Now, let's break down each option. Option B, cytoskeleton. This one is wrong, because the internal scaffold inside a cell. Option C, interstitium. This one is wrong, because the fluid space between cells. Option D, parenchyma. This one is wrong, because the working tissue of an organ. And option A, microbiota. This is the correct answer. The microbes living in and on the body. Let's move on to the next question. Question 6. About how many species of microorganisms live in the GI tract? Option A, 5 to 10. Option B, 50 to 100. Option C, 400 to 1000. Option D, 5,000 to 10,000. Option C, 400 to 1000. That's correct. Now, let's break down each option. Option A, 5 to 10. This one is wrong, because far too few. Option B, 50 to 100. This one is wrong, because still too few. Option D, 5,000 to 10,000. This one is wrong, because an overestimate. And option C, 400 to 1000. This is the correct answer. Hundreds of species live in the gut. And that's a wrap on this topic. Great job!